Sacred Space on West Limerick 102.
Okay, so, Roisin, you got something special for me here on the table. What's this?
Baby Jesus.
The baby Jesus. And the baby Jesus is lying what? He's lying in a
cradle.
In a cradle. So what's so special about this? What do you want to show me this for? What happens with this? Did something happen with the baby Jesus at Christmas?
He got born.
Okay. And you put him lying in the manger, in the crib?
Yeah.
Good. And you keep this all year round?
Yeah, we keep it all year round.
So at Christmas time, who helps to make the baby Jesus? Who makes the little cradle?
Well, usually if one of the Christmas meetings at the Focolare in Tree Hills, we usually, the Gen 4 usually make it, and then around Christmas time we go to churches and we say, would you like a baby Jesus? And it's free, but if you would like to give a donation.
So you give out little packages with baby Jesus in it for Christmas?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's great. What is a Gen 4?
It's a group of girls or boys that are a certain age, and we get together and we talk about love and unity, and we colour in pictures and stuff. We listen to stories about other gens in Africa and stuff.
Sounds great. Can I go? Am I too old? For a Gen 4, I think.
I think she might be a Gen something else. Tell me, there's something else you've got here in front of us on the table. What's this?
The cube of
A
love.
cube of?
Love.
Okay, so will you tell us all now what that says? I mean, how many sides are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides.
Yeah.
So can you tell us what each one says, please?
Well, this one here says, love your enemy, love one another, be the first to love Jesus in the other, see the other's joy or share the other's joy or hurt, love others.
Okay. So, what's the idea of this?
Well, you get up in the morning and you roll the cube, and example, you get love one another, then the aim of the day is to love one another.
And so throughout the day, you try to keep that in mind, to love one another. And then at the end of the day, then, maybe you get a bit of time to reflect back as to how much did we love each other.
Then it starts again the next day.
Then it starts again the next day.
Now, I hear that there's a special song you sing when you roll the cube. Is that right? Maybe some of the mummies can help out with this song. Do you know the song?
Yeah.
Do you know the song?
The song about the cube?
Yeah.
Will you sing it with us?
Okay.
Okay, let's go
We'll all
for it
sing
now.
together,
Okay.
okay? 1, 2,
3.
We've got the cube and we roll it every day. We've got the cube and it tells us how to play. We've got the cube, you can roll it too.
Let's roll it.
And it tells us what to do. Are you ready? Yes.
Very good. Thank you very much indeed.
You've got a lovely singing voice. Do you like the Focolare?
Yeah.
Do you like the meetings? What do you do? What do you do when you go to Kildare?
You learn how to be nice and do everything to help everyone.
And do you play with other children up there?
Yeah.
Do you have a nice time?
Yeah.
Oh, we have another guest coming in. Come in.
There's another person coming in.
Well, actually, that's kind of how it is, because the Focolare is very inclusive. So both of these friends of Colm have been to Focolare meetings, because when the Focolare come to town, or we're going up there, if Reese is our next door neighbour, he drops into a meeting, or Tipperary stays with us sometimes, and he goes up to Dublin. So it's extremely inclusive. Their families might not belong, but the kids come and go. It's casual.
Yeah, it sounds wonderful. Martina and Paula, how did you become involved in Focolare?
Well, I suppose we were both introduced by another family whose brother would be very involved in Focolare up in Kildare. And we were told that it was something the whole family could be involved in. And we went along to Curry Hills in Kildare and I suppose there are groups for the girls to go with, and the older girls and the boys, and then also for the adults. We get a time to have an adult discussion, and it's all wonderful. It's all great.
Martina, what was your first experience, or how, when you went up there for the first time, how did you react?
Wow, it must have been summertime, and I remember we went out on this beautiful walk, all the adults, and I didn't have children with me, or I didn't have very many at least. And I just have that, it was just a beautiful weather, and I don't remember having done it since, but it was like, God, it's so lovely to be with people that think sort of the same as I do, friendly people, cool people, interesting people to speak with, and my children were off in various groups, and they were so excited about being there and going back every time afterwards. So it just fitted our family very nicely.
Because you had shared a little bit with us before we started recording that you had found it quite difficult to socialise before coming to Focolare, because you had quite a big family.
Right. I was at that time on my own with 5 children, and the twins were under a year old. So it was a difficult place, or a difficult time, let's say, and it was difficult to go places. And straight away I knew that I could bring my kids to the Focolare. If I remember correctly, the 3 older ones could go to different groups, and the twins then would stay with me, but always there was somebody there to help me with a twin. So it was lovely.
And the word Focolare comes from the word heart, or fireplace, a kind of a communion of people. How do you find that? Do you find it supportive, or was it a little bit intimidating the first time you went up there?
I don't think I'd ever say it was intimidating. I suppose for me, one of my favourite memories from, let's say, the children when we first started going a few years ago, we were coming home in the car, and I asked a question to one of the girls, how was your group? And she said, great, we had a great time. And I said, how many were involved? And she said, there were about 14 girls in my group. And she said, oh wait, there were 15, including Jesus. And I just thought, well, there you go. It's so lovely to, that's what they're learning about. That Jesus is alive and he's present and in everything we do. And it was great. I just thought it was, what a wonderful way to, to see the afternoon, that she was there with her friends, but that Jesus was present also.
That sounds fantastic. It really does.
How did Focolare come to start in sort of Limerick? I mean, how many years ago was it 5 or 6 years, 7 years ago since Focolare came to Limerick, or longer?
About 7 years. Yeah, it have been. It was one of the main families up in Prosperous would have had a sister down here.
Okay.
And that whole family got involved in the Focolare. Some of them are in England, some of them are in Kerry, some of them are in Cork, I think. One of the girls is here.
Okay.
And we found out about the Focolare through her. All of us, I would say, almost. Yeah.
So what, there's about 4 or 5 families involved?
Yes.
I see somebody else has joined us this morning. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. And who we got here this morning?
Catherine, Treacy.
Catherine Treacy, how are you, Catherine?
Not too bad.
Are you involved yourself in the Focolare?
Yes, yeah.
You are? Okay. Maybe just come and take a seat here with us. So it's lovely again to be here in Newtown, isn't it? Monaleen, excuse me, speaking to some lovely members here of Focolare, trying to find out as to what they get up to from time to time, and we've been informed that about every few weeks you exchange visits between either here or Newbridge, isn't that right?
Yes, at Kildare.
Kildare, that's right. Yeah. And then, of course, one of the very important things that I've come down to here since I've been here is the involvement of the young people. Yes. It's very important, I believe, to have these gen sessions going on, where they can meet their own peers and be encouraged by their own peers.
Yes, exactly.
And Martina spoke early on to us just before we turned on the radio here, was that they're so inclusive when they meet other people of their own age group in these gens.
Yes.
They are, she calls it cool. must be a great thing for the parents too to see young people, your own children, who think like this, joining other people who are doing the same thing. Would that be right?
Yeah, and it's not, when you're together, you don't stand out. So everybody is actually the same. So I think once the children meet up, it's nothing unusual really, because we're all the same. The children I think would find that. I
think so. One of the things we were thinking about was how the children would be reacted to at school. I mean, some of the children might be 11, 12, 13, 14, so they're in secondary school. What sort of reaction do they get after the other boys and girls who might want to do other things that maybe wouldn't be okay with Focolare? Have you got children yourself in?
I do. I have two girls in secondary school.
Okay.
One is particularly involved in the Focolare. She's almost 15. I'd say she makes no secret among her friends of her involvement with the Focolare. I know that from time to time she invites her friends up. It wouldn't be all of her friends, but certain friends up to activities that are held by the Focolare, and they go and they have a good time, and doesn't seem to be any secret anyway.
Okay. Well, what I was thinking about, I suppose within Focolare, there wouldn't be too much TV in some people's houses. People wouldn't be watching mainstream TV programs, I assume, the children. No?
There's very little television in our house.
Right? No. Now, that wouldn't be the same outside. I mean, generally within the school atmosphere, there'd be an awful lot of chat, I suppose, about TV programs. So, do your children, feel a small little bit out because...
No, because we do have Facebook. Facebook's big now. There's other things in common besides. There's art, there's dancing, there's music. It doesn't have to be television anymore. I don't think television is the big thing anymore, is it?
Probably not. The very odd time my daughter Emma has mentioned that she wouldn't know the storyline of something.
Yeah, okay.
That would have come up.
That would have come up, yeah.
It wouldn't be the fact that she's missing the programme. It's more that she doesn't know a storyline that's being spoken about. Okay. But she's only ever mentioned it to me twice at the very outside, so...
She wouldn't be upset if she didn't...
I suppose the fact that she mentioned it to me that once, there must have been something about it that did upset her.
Okay.
So, but it's not a big thing. Like I said, once or twice at the very outside it came up. But I think they're better off for having less of it in ways.
You mentioned girls, right? Have you got sons of that age who might be, within the secondary school environment? Yes, at the moment.
No.
Right, so
my son is 7.
It'd be interesting to see how they get on when they get to secondary school. Fellas might be a little bit hard, I'm not too sure. But you did mention to us early on that within these gens now they have great fun and
they have the life of Riley. When Siobhan was about 9, she went to Italy first to a congress, and Anya went with her. So Anya would have been about 6.
Okay.
6 and 9 off to Italy for the first time ever.
Yeah.
Siobhan has been to Italy about 5 times, and she feels that Castel Gandolfo and the Focolare place there is her second home. And she knows people from Italy and every country in the world, and they know her. She's done Irish dancing in front of 2,000 young people, and it's just so much fun.
Okay.
And it's so exciting. She has done a lot of the emceeing for their events, such as the Run for Unity, or this year it'll be the Mariapolis. She travels up and down to Dublin and to Prosperous, and is collected at the other end sometimes twice a month. And it's very exciting. At the minute she's up there with an exchange student from Spain. This girl now herself would be part of the Focolare in Spain. And it's another story again. When I was in Castel Gandolfo myself, they have adult congresses in Castel Gandolfo. I wanted my children to learn Spanish. And so I went over to the Spanish group and I said, is anybody interested in an exchange? Well, we have exchanges left, right and centre. And it's all within the Focolare community. So you know what you're getting.
Yeah, lovely.
And it's lovely. Actually, this summer, because a Focolare came to me last year and said, would I be interested in taking a girl for the summer to learn English, to perfect her English. In exchange, I would get a holiday home her grandfather owned. So last year I took this girl for 6 or 7 weeks. Martha was her name, and Martha stayed with us, and we had a wonderful time having her. She was lovely. Mm-hmm. This year I get to have the holiday home, and I'm going to spend 7 weeks of the summer in this man's house, and he's in the Focolare. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is how practical it all gets. Yes. Because it's all, there's no money exchanged. Mm-hmm. It's all in kind. Yes. My portion was given and expected that the other portion would come through, which it did, or it will. You know, somebody told me a long time ago, people don't do anything in kind anymore. Mm-hmm. But they do. Mm-hmm. They do. They still do.
It really is about living the gospel. That's what struck me about Focolare completely. It's, in one sense, there's nothing new. It's just about simply living it.
Is it a typical daily life that Focolare, the families live?
Disorganised, humdrum, and otherwise.
Welcome to the new world. But they wouldn't have any formal. I mean, I no doubt there'd be morning prayers and that sort of stuff. Evening prayers, you know. But I just noticed the children there with the cube, you know, and I'm sure they would know the stories of the Bible themselves, and be familiar with those. Would there be any of the children want to speak to us? Let us know how they find their gens up in Kildare when they get up there. What about yourself? Come over here, talk to us. What's your name? Maeve. Well, Maeve. How old are you, Maeve? 14. And do you go up to Kildare quite often?
Yeah.
So, what sort of stuff do you get up to when you get up there?
Well, we do Mass first.
Okay, Mass first, okay.
And then we eat.
Okay.
And then we break into groups.
Okay.
I'm Gen 3.
And what happens within groups then?
Well, we get the word of life.
Okay. And what's that? What's that, the word of life? Like a word from the Gospels? Or?
I think so. It's like
okay.
When we go through it and read it together and discuss it.
That's good. And would they be all of your own age group? I mean...
Mostly, yeah. Like
Mostly.
9 to 14.
All right, and right, okay. So that's on for what, half an hour, is it, or 2 minutes, or whatever long it is? Yeah. And then maybe a small little bit of sharing after that, as you said.
We share. Sometimes we share acts of love. We do.
Okay.
So people say what they've done.
And that's no problem. Very, very encouraging. And then what else you do then for the rest of the day?
Well, we sometimes play games, like when there's new people, name games.
Okay.
Get rid of names and things.
So, have you got a favourite sort of story yourself that you like when you share? I mean, or a sort of favourite story from the Gospels at all, or?
Not really.
Not really. Or a favourite song maybe that you'd like to sing with us? No? Not really. You might leave those to your sisters.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. Who else have you got here? What's your name again now? Devla. That's a beautiful name. Devla's the one who shared with us about the cube. Mm-hmm. And you wanted to find out where you could get one of these now, is that right?
I want one of those for home because I want to throw a cube every morning to see how I'm supposed to behave.
Where
could I get one of those?
Well, if you come to one of the Focolare up in Prosperous, then you can just ask the leader of Gen 4, Leah, and she'll give you one.
Will she?
Excellent.
When is the next Gen 4 on so?
Well, the Mariapolis is in a few weeks.
In a few weeks' time. And what happens there?
Well, we're all in the same place and we go to Mass every day, we say prayers together, we go into our groups like usual, we have lunch together, and we also have free time like going swimming and just normal stuff.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like so
much fun.
And
how long are you up there for?
Well, usually 4 or 5 days.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that'd be great. Playing games and going to the gens and going to Mass every day for those 5 days. And going back to this little thing that you showed us here early on, this baby Jesus, did you make those or did you?
Well, Gen 4 made them, yeah. I remember making them once. I remember.
And did you say that you give them out to people?
Yeah.
Like people at school, or people in the neighbourhood?
Well, we give them out at Mass, and also at Super Queen or shopping centres.
Very good.
And the milk market.
Wow.
Very good. Have you got a few boys here that want to know Lorraine? Would they want to say anything to you?
No. Who is this?
Connie.
Connie, what age are you?
I'm nearly 9 in August.
9 in August. Wow, you're getting really old. How do you find the Focolare, the meetings?
I kind of like it, and we'd have a few games, and when we're halfway through, we'd have a snack. Then after the snack, we would play. Well, for my group, we played a little bit of soccer, a few games, and then we're mostly finished. And then after that, we would play for about an hour anywhere we want, and then we'll go home.
Sounds like great fun as well. Do you have a cube at home?
Yeah.
Do you throw it as well?
Yeah, we might swap.
Okay. And then what do you do during the day? You try and live out the message?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you have a chat about it in the evening?
Well, sometimes when we roll it, we'd normally have a chat before.
Okay. About how to, say, if I throw it now and it says, love your enemy, how might I do that during the day? How might I love my enemy?
Well, maybe if you're at school and there might be someone you don't like, and if they might be mean to you, they mightn't let you use their colours, and if they ask you, you might say yes.
Okay. So that's a really practical way of doing what Jesus asked us to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, well done, Connor. And we have another little boy here. Who is this?
Dara.
Dara. What age is Dara?
6 3/4.
Oh, I like
that
this.
3/4 is very important. Do you like going to the meetings as well, Dara?
Yeah.
What type of games do you play?
Soccer as well.
I love soccer. Do you support a team?
Yeah.
Who do you support?
Manchester.
Yes. I have a fellow Manchester. Now, I have to ask the very important question. Is it Manchester United or Manchester City? Because the interview is over if it's Manchester City.
United.
Yes. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're doing well here. Do you roll the cube as well, Dara?
Yeah.
Yeah? Would you roll it for me today? Let's see what you get. So let's see what John has to do on the way home.
What did you get?
Be the first to love.
John has to...
I have to be the first to love. What does that mean now? What do I have to do? What sort of things do I have to do?
Give an example.
Give me an example of how I have to be the first to love. If I'm going across the road and somebody's annoying me, have I got to be the first one to turn into the love, have I? And be nice to him?
Yeah.
You see this nice lady over here?
Yeah.
This is Anne, and Anne is John's wife. So Anne is delighted that John has to be the first to love today, because they're going to be having great fun on the way home in the car.
And do we have any more little boys over here?
No, they're all gone shy.
They're all gone.
Okay.
What about this little girl again now? What was her name, please?
Roisin.
Yeah. What do you like about the gyms when you go to the gyms?
Well, we colour.
What sort of stuff do you colour?
Pictures of when Jesus was little.
When Jesus was little? Lovely. And have you got a favourite colour? What's your favourite colour?
Pink.
Pink. I think that's lovely. Do you like rolling the cube too?
Yeah.
Will you roll the cube for us, so, and then we'll find out what Lorraine has to do for the rest of the day. So roll it for us and tell me what it is. What does that say?
Be the first of love.
Lorraine, there's a message coming through here now.
Since I'm going home to the family tonight, I can see where that would come in useful.
So Paula and Martina, the message that we seem to get here is very inclusive for the family. The children have no problem in speaking about their experiences, the Gen and the Focolare and so on and so forth. It must be very encouraging for you guys. I assume now that all these children are here that there's no problem getting housework done either. I assume that there's the first to love and the act of love. I really want. Is that right, girls? They've gone silent all of a sudden. I thought it was.
I suppose you'd always worry that, as lovely as Mass is for all of us, that sometimes it's a little bit of a different level for the children to understand and to grasp. And I feel that the Focolare involvement that we have really helps the children, in their journey, in the faith and learning about things at their level and having their own age group with them. And that's so important.
Is there a comic? Did I see? Is there a comic that comes out?
It's a Word of Life.
The Word of Life.
They get in the mail. The adults get their own, and the children get their own.
Who wants to tell me about the Word of Life?
Yeah, do please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just while we're getting that, as parents, as Catholic parents, do you find the support from Focolare kind of encouraging, or is it just by virtue of the fact that you're all chatting and friendly and meeting anyway that's supportive?
I suppose it's supportive in a number of ways. I suppose we do share. We get an opportunity to share and talk. So it's like, common things that everyday families are faced with. We get an opportunity to share those and support each other in the difficulties and maybe give each other ideas about, we've all been there and done it. And the most important for me is with the children, I suppose, that it gives us all a united thing to focus on. They're like every other normal child, and there's great moments and misbehaving moments, but you're able to bring it back to the cube of love. Is that really what you're supposed to be doing? And I mean, Dara sort of was quiet there now, but we were chatting about it this morning, and he was able to say some lovely things about the cube of love and being the first to love, and giving lovely examples of how he does it. And doing acts of kindness like that's something that comes up very frequently, and they refer to it themselves. Oh Mum, I did an act of kindness for Anna today. Such and such happened and I picked her up, or she spilled her milk and I poured her another one. And wasn't that an act of kindness? It's so simple, but they feel good about it.
And Dara is only 6 years old?
Dara's only 6.
And 3/4.
Yeah, and 3/4. And even he spoke beautifully this morning. Would you remember to say about bringing Jesus to somebody? Can you remember what you said about that?
Yeah. Like if someone was being mean to you and then you said like something nice back, then they would see Jesus in you.
Isn't that lovely? Where do you get that? Yeah. And, they're the little things that they may not get out of Mass because it's a little bit above them. But, that's...
He's got it.
He's got it, and he does it so often. Like, you just see it in everyday little things. In amongst the normal children doing normal things that mightn't be that nice, you can bring them back to the basics.
Fantastic.
And that's because, I assume, because you've lived in it all the time. It's kind of natural to them. It's not that you're compartmentalising it. That we have to do it at a certain time of the day. You guys are doing it all the time.
Yeah, you're trying.
And so it oozes through that. Because Adam lives it and sees it all the time, and it's part of the natural.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. In my when I put my children on time out, in that little room, there's a book of Bible stories. It's the only thing that's in there. And I have avid readers, and they'd read anything. And sometimes they come out of time out with great fervour to move on and do better.
That's beautiful. Yeah, it really is. We have a little comic book in front of Dervla. Can you explain it for me?
Well, they're usually like based on cool stuff like iPads or iPhones and stuff like that. So on this phone here we have Ready to Forgive and Start Again. And it's about a story on someone else who's in Gen 3, but he's Moro and he's from Italy, and it's just one of his experiences about something. And then here we have Beloved, Do Not Grumble Against One Another, and it asks questions that people ask and then someone answers them what we should do.
Very good. And what are these two little columns here?
See if like you should never give up. You should always like keep trying and keep loving, and and then here in action, there's where there is less love, I will try to add love, and there's these take signs and add signs, and when you love, you just colour in.
Every time you do a little act of love, you colour it in?
Yeah.
So how many little acts of love do you think you could colour in today?
Well, a few and stuff, and when you don't love, you
take one away.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one side of it. Oh, there's another on the other side.
Very
so
good.
I guess you could take the other side and you could make your own little newsletter, couldn't you?
Yeah.
You could write your own little experiences of what it means to love, or you could throw your dice and write it there, and then write down the different ways or draw the different ways that you try to love that day.
Yeah.
Would that be a good idea?
Yeah.
This one here, I think, is for the Gen 4. The teenagers get a different one again, right? So there's one for their age group.
Gen 3.
This is Gen 3. The younger ones get the little one, and the adults get their own.
And the adult one, is it a one-page?
No, it's about 4 pages. It's usually a talk from the foundress, Chiara Lubick, on a word in the gospel.
So there really is food for thought, no matter what age you are.
I think once when we do go up to the Focolare Centre and the adults get time to read a word of life, and it might be on a particular topic, but then there are always people there who will share. It's like what the children do, but we do it. So it's sharing the little experiences that you have. It's seeing, I suppose, an act of love that we can do for others, or that we did do. It's being aware, and it does make you aware that everything counts, and it's a lovely way of doing it. And that's what the children do as well, within their own groups.
It reminds me very much of the little thing that St. Treacy used to say, that it's not about doing great things of love, it's about doing little things with great love.
Yes.
And I think it's just a beautiful way of doing it. If somebody wanted to find out more about the Focolare, how would one go about that?
Focolare.ie, I imagine they have it. I never really looked at it, to be honest. But
okay. And you can, I presume, also write to Focolare at Kerry Hills and Prosperous.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Now, did I hear somewhere that one of your daughters spoke with Maria
Voce?
Voce?
Oh, it was terrible, was it?
Who spoke?
Oh, I don't. What, do you remember?
Well, first of all, who was this lady anyway, Maria Voce? Who's she?
Amos. Was it Amos? She spoke.
Well, it was.
She's the president, is she now at the moment?
Yes.
Okay.
Was it at the Eucharistic Congress?
It was.
It was at the Eucharistic Congress, and we were asking these questions, and my question was, is it easier or harder to love your enemy when you're older or younger?
Oh, do you remember the answer to that question?
No.
I'm going to have to go onto the Eucharistic Congress website and find out the answer to that question, because I really want to know that answer.
So
it was lovely at the Eucharistic Congress to be part of a group, not to be going up as individuals.
Yeah. Tell me, if there were other little boys and girls wanted to know about Focolare, what would you tell them? If somebody says, tell me what Focolare is all about, what would you say?
Yeah, we bring our cousins. It's a group, it's kind of a holy group, and we learn about Jesus and how to love and the basic stuff.
You have fun.
Yeah.
Loads of fun. I found that today.
Yeah.
And Martina, if there was someone outside, somebody listening to the program today and wondering, not too sure about this Focolare, it seems to have some lovely points, but I might give it a try. What would you say to invite them maybe to have a look at Focolare and the way they live their life and so on and so forth?
Well, I think the group is very inclusive. We welcome new people without any expectations of them. I would say give it a try, particularly if you're a mother of children. I think the sooner the better, because once they're brought up with it, it gives them very early on the language of religion, to be able to say things like, I love Jesus in the middle of a sentence, or something like that, you know. I would say, as fast as you can, get your family involved, because they'll do half the work for you. Because it's not in the schools. There's very little religion in the schools.
And Kathleen, would you?
I suppose my introduction to the Focolare was 2 years ago.
Okay.
And again, the lady that brought us all into it, she had been mentioning it, and we met at what will be coming up this Sunday in the local GA club, and she said, oh, Mariapolis is on next week. You know, feel free to come. And I had no plans to come, and I just decided, do you know what, I'll phone up and make a few inquiries about this. And I went.
Okay.
Myself and the 4 children just turned up one day late, because I think I might have been working for the first day it was on, and that was my introduction. Just made so welcome, and you know, lovely feel to it all. It was relaxing, but yet in all there was a focus and something for the children to do and something for me to do. So, you know, you're just made welcome. I brought my niece, who is living locally. She came and just joined in the Gen 4 group that was appropriate to her age group. And this year I'm bringing another niece, and I invited my sister and her family along, and they're going to share one of the holiday homes with us. And they're not in the Focolare, but they're just coming along now this year because they've heard me mention it a few times. And so it's that easy. You know, you just come if you feel like it. You know, people are made very welcome.
And Paula, just one last word here for us, so in regard to Focolare and encouragement maybe for somebody out there who might be thinking.
Well, as I say, you know, I suppose for people who would worry about keeping their children in faith and wanting them to have a relationship with Jesus, you know, it's fantastic for children to be involved, as Martina said, at a very young age, and for it to be normal. You know, so that it's not a strange thing. You know, that it's very normal, and they look forward to it, and I think it does help with their faith. You know, as they get a little bit older, they will always have that.
Beautiful.
Well, Justin, thank you. Thank you so much for having us here today. It's been a wonderful introduction to Focolare. Thank you for opening your home to us, Paula, especially.
But maybe before we go, maybe the children might come into the kitchen, and we're going to sing a song. Okay, let's hear the song. 1, 2, 3.
We've got the cube and we roll it every day. We've got the cube and it tells us how to play. We've got the cube and you can roll it too. Let's roll it now and it tells us what to do. Are you ready? Yes. Can we roll it? Yes. 1, 2, 3 and roll. What does it say? Love your enemy. Love your enemy. Love your enemy all the time. Love your enemy. Love your enemy all the time. We've got the cube and we roll it every day. We've got the cube and it tells us how to play. We've got the cube, you can roll it too. Let's roll it now and it tells us what to do. Are you ready? Yes. Shall we roll it? Yes. 1, 2, 3 and roll. What does it say? Love Jesus in the other. 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 All the time. Love Jesus in the other. Love Jesus in the other. All the time.
Well done. Well done. So.
The Spirit of the Lord is upon you, just as His Spirit came upon me. So go in my name and my good news proclaim, and be my light for everyone to see. Share my compassion on your journey. Bring my healing love to those in pain. For I came that all may have life abundantly. I came that all people may be free. You will be my witnesses throughout the world. You will be my witnesses, sharing my word. And as you spread my message, know that I am there with you.
Sacred Space on West Limerick 102.